Hi everyone, Carmen Marshall here, founder of Create a Life You Love, helping you create a life that you absolutely love and that works. And I wanted to circle back to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, about the whole idea of how can we actually build our confidence authentically, especially when we're starting a new business or we're expanding our business or we're revamping our whole life, whatever it is. How can we do that naturally? And also, how can we create a natural energy in us that draws people to us, that makes them like and trust us, because it's all about energy. And of course, we know when people like and trust us authentically, they want to do business with us, opportunities open up, and everything just flows better. So how do we do that? The absolute best way that I know how is to stay in integrity with ourselves. Now, of course, we want to stay in integrity with everyone, obviously, but there's a huge piece about this idea of staying in integrity within ourselves, because if we're continually telling ourselves that we're going to do something and then we don't, we gradually start to lose faith in ourselves, we start to lose belief in ourselves. And as we've talked about a lot in Create a Life You Love, you want to be not only believe in yourself, but you want to have this unshakable confidence in yourself that what you say you do, you will do. So let me give you an example. And we've all been here. And this isn't about making you feel bad. It's not about beating ourselves up. I'm going to give you some tips in my own life, how I've been out of integrity and when I've changed that, how it's really, really helped. And also that it's kind of like riding a bicycle, like all things in life will sometimes be, straight on course, and then we might veer a little bit to the right or we might veer a little bit to the left. But the whole point is just to get back on track, just like a bike. So it's not about being perfect. It's about just getting back on track. All right. So what I'm going to talk about is some examples within my life, and I'd love you to be able to think about always in the three areas that I reference: health, business, and relationships, because those tend to be the three things that we consistently worry about. So let's say, for example, you've made a health goal and you've told yourself, because this is a very common one, I'm not going to eat any processed foods, I'm not going to eat any sugar for a full week. And then by the time day 2 comes along in that week, we've fallen off the bandwagon. Now what happens internally is that we start losing, as I mentioned before, we start losing belief in ourselves. We start thinking it's almost like crying wolf, like even if we say we're going to do something, we know we're not going to. But the opposite happens when you actually do the things that you say you will do. You start believing in yourself, you know you can count on yourself, your energy within you gets stronger, and people can feel that. They can feel that you've got that certainty, that you stick to your word, and they also start liking and trusting you because they can feel this solid energy in you. Where I learned this was it's probably like been a good 10 years ago. I was working with a really phenomenal group called the Handel Coaching Group, and they had a lot around personal responsibility and integrity. And this really shifted for me because I realized, yes, of course, we all want to stay in integrity with everyone, of course, as much as we can. But one of the biggest things I realized is if I could stay within integrity with myself, my confidence would gradually grow naturally. People would like and trust me more because they could feel that integrity from within, and therefore my business would grow as well. And then, of course, everything else, as I mentioned, flows from there because people can sense that certainty in you. And people want to do business with people that they feel they can trust, that are certain. And that's very different than being being over opinionated. What I mean is that trustable likability because people know they can depend on you because you know you can depend on yourself. So sometimes this can seem a little bit hardcore, so I'm going to give you some other examples. And I want you to think of something in your business that you have told yourself that you're going to do that maybe you haven't, something in your health and something in your relationships. And I'll give you a couple of examples. So in business, for example, it could be saying how many hours per week that you're going to spend on building your business. Let's say you're starting a new business on the side and you're working a full-time job. So let's say that you tell yourself, well, I'm going to work 15 hours per week. But at that end of the week, you found that you only worked maybe 5, and you spend a lot of those other hours watching TV, etc. Now, you would have been out of integrity with yourself, but all you need to do is sit down, evaluate the week, and see if your goals were too high, maybe they weren't realistic. Can you adjust? Were there some areas that perhaps maybe you didn't have to watch TV, you could have made some phone calls a little bit shorter, whatever it was to get those 15 hours of working on your business in. So what you do is you're renegotiating with yourself for the next week. You're consciously doing it rather than just saying, oh, well, I didn't do it, I'll be better next week. You're actually sitting down, renegotiating, seeing what you did well, seeing maybe if you had some of your goals were too high, and then setting your goals for the next week, and then doing your absolute best to stay in integrity with yourself. This works wonders because, again, a lot of times we can put our goals too high. And of course, we're going to fall out of integrity and lose some confidence. That's normal. But if you actually sit down and make it a conscious exercise of renegotiating with yourself, then that confidence will grow. It's not just reacting to not staying in integrity. You're actually choosing what you're going to do the following week. I'll give you some examples in my life. So this is something that's really close to my heart. I used to be absolutely wonderful at doing regular blogs, so regular emails at the time, years ago. Then probably for the past 2 years, I have not been as consistent at all. And I've made little forays into it where I might do a couple of blogs every 2 weeks and I get back on track. And then there'll be like 6 months where I don't do anything. What do you think that did to my internal confidence? Gradually over time, and I'm pretty disciplined, but in this one area, I had set some goals and I wasn't doing it. I started feeling less and less in integrity with myself and less assured and less confident. As soon as I started getting back on track and actually doing what I said I was going to do, my confidence raised. There's also other things that come to play in this. It's contributing that, of course, can give us confidence as well. But I'm a really big believer in actually just the little tiny thing of staying in integrity with ourselves and then renegotiating if we need to. How I renegotiated is I used to do weekly blogs. Now I only do them once every 2 weeks, and then I also mix it up. I do sometimes a video, sometimes written, sometimes a screen capture, whatever it is. So I really looked at what was working and what wasn't working. But also, I now have this rule for myself that every day, it's actually every Monday, I'm doing my blog that's going to be set for the next Saturday. Okay, so let me rephrase that. Every 2 Mondays, I do my blog that's going to go out for that following Saturday. And I tell you what, I feel so much better about myself, and my confidence again is restored because I'm doing what I said I would do. So, think about something in your business life. Think about something in your health, and think about something in your relationships. And what do you want to do in this coming week? And at the end of the week, sit down and evaluate. Do you need to renegotiate? Do you need to make the goals less stringent, less hard, less big? Or do you just need to do it? I mean, in my case, I needed to adjust, and I just needed to do it. This is one of the things I can promise you, and I have so many examples of, when I was trying to change my eating habits, when I was trying to do things in my business, things in my relationships, that when I actually sat down and said, okay, I'm going to stay in integrity with myself, I'm going to renegotiate when I need to, and I'm going to stay again in integrity with myself when I just know I need to do it, how much it really helped me. But again, remember, this is an ongoing journey, just like lifestyle, health, building a business, maintaining a wonderful relationship. It's not a one-time event that you do one time. It's something that it will come up again. And that's why I wanted to share a really real story that's very present day, so that you can see even someone like me that has an amazing business that I love, there's still areas that I need to make sure that I'm staying in integrity with myself as well. All right, so as always, if you have something that you would like to share, please do. I love our community that we're building, and I really feel that we learn as much from each other as we do from any one person. Your questions and your comments not only give me ideas for future blogs, like for example, 2 weeks ago, the one that I did, there were so many things that came in, so thank you. Share this if you feel this is helpful, but especially I would love to see your comments below. Have a fantastic couple of weeks. We will catch you on the next video, and thank you for spending time, and have fun with staying in integrity with yourself, renegotiating, and sometimes just kicking your butt when you need to stay in integrity with yourself. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next time.